which could be broken down into quality, affordability, and definitely access is important. So we have seen that there is a national quality assurance scheme, standards where government district hospitals are adhering to it, and there are 2,600 hospitals which are already certified. We are looking at Lakshya program where maternal and quality care for newborns are there. So 700 plus hospitals have been certified. We are looking at Kaya Kalp, which has been released from Government of India, which looks at hygiene and infection prevention, and there are 2 lakh plus hospitals which are already accredited. There is a national accreditation board for hospitals where almost 1,500 plus institutions are there. Plus there are international. So quality-wise, I think there is a lot of demand as well as deliverable. To your question regarding affordability, if you just, I think almost we were on an out-of-pocket expenditure for 80%, which is decreasing to almost 50 to 52%, and the aim is to get to 42%, where the global average is 18.2. I do understand that there is a question regarding affordability because the healthcare cost is rising. There was a decent study which was done by FICCI where they have seen 2 government hospitals and rest of the private hospital, and the costing was compared. And to our surprise, we think that those are free beds and free hospitals, and you and I are paying for it. And it was close to 18,000 rupees per bed per day maintenance in a government setup, which we think it is free. So there is a healthcare cost which is there in private, which is unfortunately increasing. There needs to be a monitoring mechanism. There needs to be some kind of a regulation at that level. There needs to be standardization of care, which needs to be provided. And with all of this, there would be some restructuring which would happen.
Right. Also, I want you to throw light on the medical tourism, which is India has a huge potential for it. And if I quote the number, foreign tourist arrival on medical purpose in 2020 stood at 1.83 lakh, and now in 2023 the number has gone to 6.35 lakh. What is the potential, and how do you see the medical tourism as of now, and what more can be done to boost this aspect?
So it's a close to $125 billion industry, and India captures almost $13 billion within this, and it's a huge market. India was ranking close to 77, now it has come up to 10, ranking with Canada and France doing excellent work. So overall, I think there is a huge potential, but then there are challenges. So most of the patients basically are coming from Bangladesh. 60% of the medical value tourism is from Bangladesh or from GCC countries or from Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Tanzania. There are some newer boundaries which have opened up, which would be CIS and Georgia and countries like that. So what needs to be done is that needs to be a regulated regulatory mechanism, because it's very individual and it is very facilitator-driven market, which needs to be reorganized, which needs to be restructured. The medical visas, which is generally given, so there needs to be a single stop arrangement with a lot of infrastructural push, a lot of promotions to prevention of health. There is a very good program which is being initiated by Government of India, which is Heal in India and Heal by India, so which is looking at both modern medicine and traditional medicine. Plus there is a huge talent both in faculty as in staff within the country. So that way I think that there is a lot of potential. What needs to be done, to your question, I think it is important that B2B, B2C business, other than G2G business, the government to government business has to happen. It is right now a single facilitator who brings in the single patients and then he manipulates. If it's happening in bulk, 300, 3,000 patients coming from a country, and that's the potential.
QSMTHE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked AMRITA amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for AMRITA University.
It is not about the number of acres that this complex is encompassed in. It is not about the 3.5 lakh square feet of studio space. It is not about the hundreds of cameras or strobe lights or this beautiful auditorium. But it is about the passion that makes the Republic Media Network a one of its kind, completely special news organization in the world today. The fundamentals of this organization are very clear, and I must emphasize them again. What makes Republic special beyond the news complex, beyond what you will see today, is the fact that the Republic Media Network is the only independently journalist-owned news organization. How do you view India's economic and financial prospects as you begin the third term of the Modi government?
I think each one of us can be confident and be sure that because of a good visionary leadership which saw through India through the difficult times and has the vision to take it forward with destinations expressed clearly. Not we're going along, we will reach. No, clearly what is it in the next 2 years? What is it in the next few more years? And what is it that we want to do by 2047? With that kind of a visionary leadership, which is strong in a sense, inside the person, the strength of bearing with the challenges and also the kind of demands that come off, that is the strength I'm talking about of a leadership. And you find that in Prime Minister Modi, and I will say this up front before I even open up this conversation with Arnab. A leader of that nature, keeping a team of people working with him, gives the confidence to the ordinary citizen that you are in safe hands, we will work hard, there shall not be any corruption, we are clear where we want to go along with you. It's not a dream of the leader alone. People are also resonating that voice. So to be in that team, I feel very humbled and honored, and all the praise that Arnab might give me, saying, this is what you brought to this position, this is what you did. It's a big team under Prime Minister Modi. And it is that team which is delivering it, and I don't think personally and individually I am doing some miracle. No, it's a large team and a very firm leadership which says, let's go together. If there are little challenges, if there are, criticism, we'll take it in our stride. But it is that leadership, therefore, which gives me the confidence to tell you here as an answer to this question. We as Indians can be confident that we are being very clearly taken through a phase which is full of challenges. And it is only because of that in the last few years, and it is only because of that in the coming few years, not just my assessment, global observers of Indian economy have very clearly said, India is growing as the fastest growing large economy. It shall continue to be that next year. It shall continue to be that for the next year after that as well. These are not words which I am putting here. And therefore, the one thing which I would say, even Arnab was asking me as I was walking here, saying you went to Mexico, you went to US, what is up? The first thing I will tell you, whilst Indian citizens are confident in the leadership, Indian citizens have voted Prime Minister Modi back for the third term because they want stability, they want good governance, they want a leadership which will place India above all. There are, of course, within India, voices which pull down our confidence. I don't know if I've said this once in
Briefly,
Arnab's own program. Sorry, I'm giving you a very big answer for this
I'm
question.
listening very keenly, ma'am.
In the Mahabharata,
Yes.
you would have heard how Karna's confidence was brought down only by Khan Barna. The chap was with him as his Rathasarathi. By mistake came this side. He was meant to be there, along with the Pandavas, but by mistake he's here. But he tells Karna, "Arey, you won't win, yeah. You can't achieve this. You are not capable. Who are you fighting against?" And again, continuously pouring that negativity, continuously pouring that pessimism, hurt Karna's self-confidence. He was as good as a warrior as Arjuna was. But that one draining of the confidence of Karna also contributed. I'm not saying that was the only reason, but also contributed to the less than great performance of Karna himself. Now I'm bringing that example to say, while the whole world observes India, that against severe odds, which are globally everybody facing odds, not just India, India's own challenges are also there for us. We are somehow, along with the people's strength, moving forward with a clear leadership, stable policies, good taxation structure. Yes, we can do more for middle class. But with all this, we are able to move. But within India, there are many shalyas. So that brings your confidence down. I would appeal to everybody that these are not observations about India's strengths, achievements, and further possibility of higher achievements which are made by us. These are observed by everybody. So I would appeal through your program, Arnab, in answer to your first question, we need to have confidence in ourselves. There's a good leadership. There's a great understanding of how to take India forward. There will be challenges. There are questions about, no, burden is more on me, burden is less on them. We'll address all of them. But be confident that we are going the right path. We will achieve the destinations.
Madam Finance Minister, now we are in a slightly different situation, and we have to, I believe, prepare for a post-Ukraine situation as well. We have a new president in the US, president-elect, who has committed to ending the war within 24 hours. Even if it doesn't, it's almost seen as a certainty that it will end. My question to you is, what will the post-Ukraine economy look like? We have done very well in this period during the trajectory of the war. Should the trajectory of the war change? And because we took certain decisions, like we became the second largest buyer of Russian crude oil, our refined oil exports went up massively to Europe. Our exports of fuels like diesel to the EU surged by 50-60%. We benefited from that. A follow-up question is, and what every observer will want to know, Madam Finance Minister, is, should the war end? Should the trajectory of the war in Ukraine end? How does our economic policies, how do our fiscal policies, and how does our approach to the world change after that? Will we have to do some resetting?
See, I think it is not just the Ukraine war, even very many other developments which happen and which keep happening make us continuously be dynamic in our decision making and keep resetting.
Yes.
So it's not as if we are waiting for that one day when peace is going to come on Ukraine, and therefore we are going to change and reset ourselves. Reset happens like in many small steps continuously, and it's an ongoing thing. But the first thing first, Ukraine war is something which PM has also said, we want peace, we want talks, we want, normalcy restored and so on.
Absolutely.
We are always in favor of peace and diplomatic solutions to problems. We've never promoted aggression. We've never promoted unilaterally aggression. And therefore, on that ground, there is no change. We continue to keep that. But post the war, or post any other situation, post the US elections,
yes,
and the kind of results which have come, as always, you asked me about reset. I'm using
yes,
the word consciously. As always,
yes,
we'll keep India's interest on the top. So
wonderful.
That's the reset. And that is the reset each time on doing things, but each time we keep India on the top, India's interest on the top.
when there is a big turn in the history of Republic Media Network, आप हमारे साथ रहे हैं. मुझे याद है 2018 में आप हमारे साथ थे, 2016 जब हमने लॉन्च की, फिर 2018 में हमने रिपब्लिक समिट ऑर्गेनाइज की थी मुंबई में, आप वहाँ पे थे, सिर्फ फलाहार किया था.